Today we're here to talk to you about your pre-delivery inspection and new home orientation. Now, a pre-delivery inspection is designed to establish the condition of your suite prior to occupancy. And while it's important to note any kind of damages to drywall and paint, it's of particular importance to note any damages to hard surfaces, such as countertops, cabinets, and flooring, as it could help to avoid any kind of issues in the future. What we'll do is we'll go room by room and talk about the different issues we may be inspecting, as well as some of the mechanical features and function of your suite. We start all of our PDIs at the main entry door, not only to establish the condition of the door itself and look for any kind of damages, but also to establish the differences between the exterior of the unit and the interior of the unit. Anything outside of the main entry door is considered part of the common elements of your building. That includes your hallways, elevators, stairwells, and on the other side, it also includes your balconies. Now, the balconies are considered what's called an exclusive use common element, which means only you have access to it. But in the event that there's any kind of damages to the exterior balcony or the railings, property management would take care of the repairs, not you. Now, with the main entry door, we're going to be checking the door itself to make sure that there's no damages, and we're also going to be checking its operation, making sure it opens and closes properly. Now, around the door frame itself, you're going to see little rubber bumpers, and those are actually there to make sure that the door doesn't slam against the frame when it's closed. And at some point, you're going to feel a slight draft coming in through the main entry door around the frame itself, and that's actually very important, as all of your fresh air is going to be ventilated from your hallway into the suite. Now, this is actually done for a few different reasons. Most importantly, it's to help get fresh air into the suite, and the air that's brought in is humidified, so it helps to humidify the suite itself. Now, maintaining proper humidity is always going to be the homeowner's responsibility, but this will assist in the process. Now, the main entry door should close and latch on its own if it's working properly, as it is a fire-rated door. And the fire rating is actually going to be located along the back of the door on the hinge side. We'll also be inspecting the peephole to make sure it's clear of any kind of debris and installed properly as well. In your front hall closet, we're going to be checking the shelves inside to make sure that they hold proper weight. And you're also going to notice a couple panels on the wall. Now, on the one panel is going to be what's called your demarcation panel, which is essentially your communications panel. Inside, you're going to find all the connections for your data and cable outlets. And throughout your suite, all of the data and cable outlets in your suite will actually terminate in this area. So if you're having your cable or internet connected, everything will be done inside this panel in your suite. Now, we're also going to find a panel a little lower on the wall that's held on by a spring-loaded mechanism. And behind that is actually where your main water shutoffs are going to be located. Now, there'll be two valves, one for hot, one for cold. Now, we always recommend that if you're going away for any length of time, generally any more than 72 hours, please be sure to turn off your water to avoid any kind of ongoing problems. Next to your main entry door, you'll also find a security panel that's going to be connected to the door itself and also connected to the concierge desk downstairs. Should you require any kind of help or assistance, or should there be any kind of problems, you can use the security panel to contact concierge. Throughout your suite, you'll notice a variety of fire safety features, including sprinklers, smoke detectors, and fire alarms. In various locations around your suite, you'll notice your sprinklers, and they're actually going to be the flush mount sprinkler system that are designed to pop off the wall in the event of a fire. Now, it's very important that if you're painting your home, please don't paint over those sprinklers, as it can cause the sprinkler caps to become adhered to the wall, and then they won't function properly. You will also find combination smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in various locations, including every bedroom. And you'll notice at the bottom of those smoke detectors, there's a small bulb. And those are actually strobe lights to ensure that if somebody can't hear the smoke detector, they can see it and exit the suite safely. Additionally, you'll find in the main area of your suite, the fire alarm, which is connected to the building itself. So in the event that there was a fire somewhere else in the building, an alarm would sound and directions would be given to you by the concierge as to the proper exit. Now, your suite will be equipped with one or more heat pump units, which will provide both the heating and cooling solutions for your suite. You'll notice in different areas a panel that looks very much like this, as well as a thermostat, and for every heat pump unit, there will be a thermostat attached. Thermostat instructions will be given to you at the time of the PDI, and additionally, you're going to be getting a homeowner's manual that will talk more about the function of your thermostats. Now, with the heat pump unit itself, there's going to be some regular maintenance that's required by the homeowner, including changing your heat pump filter on a regular basis, generally every 3 to 6 months, as well as looking down at the bottom and ensuring that there's no standing water. If you do notice any standing water at the bottom, it means that your drip tray drain may be blocked and additional maintenance may be required. Now, the maintenance of the unit is always the homeowner's responsibility. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to find an on-off switch, and the unit only needs to be turned off in the event that maintenance is being done. Additional heat pump filters can generally be purchased through property management or at a local hardware store. What you would need is the filter size that's generally located on the top of the filter itself. In your living room and bedrooms, we're going to be checking the windows and the frames for any kind of damages, and we're going to be testing windows for operation as well as the patio doors. Now, windows themselves will generally open a maximum of 4 inches, and that's as per the Ontario Building Code for safety considerations. Patio doors will be making sure they open and close properly and make sure that they lock as well. Now, at some point in time, generally in the winter, you may see some buildup of condensation in the lower corners of windows. And that's actually very normal, but it's something that can be avoided through maintaining proper humidity. Generally, if you do see a buildup of condensation, that means that there's an overabundance of humidity inside the suite. And again, it's the homeowner's responsibility to maintain proper humidity. Now, in your laundry room, you're going to find a stacked washer and dryer, and to the side of the washer and dryer, you're going to find the water shutoffs for the laundry room itself. We highly recommend that if you're not using your washer and dryer, turning off the water if it's accessible. Now, with your dryer, there's going to be a lint trap located inside the unit. And the lint trap needs to be cleaned every single time it's used. Additionally, located on the ceiling, you're going to find a secondary lint trap. And the secondary lint trap should be cleaned every 1 to 2 months, depending on usage. In your washrooms, we're going to be checking all the hard surfaces for any kind of damages, including tiles, countertops, glass shower enclosures, bathtubs, and toilets, and make sure that everything is working properly. We're going to be flushing your toilets, running your sinks. We're going to be looking in the bathtubs themselves and making sure that all caulking is done properly along the bathtub and along the tile work. And we're also going to be checking underneath the sink itself to make sure that there's no leaks. Additionally, we're going to be checking the doors to make sure they open and close properly and make sure that there's no leaks at the shower head as well. You'll also find underneath your washroom and kitchen sinks individual water shutoffs for each sink. In the event that there's an issue, you can turn off each individual location separately. In your bedrooms, living rooms, and in various areas of your home, we're going to be checking all the drywall for any kind of damages or paint and drywall defects. We're going to be checking your baseboards for any kind of dents or dings, and we're going to be checking all of the windows for any kind of scratches or hard surface problems. We're also going to be checking your floors throughout the suite to make sure that there's no damages to the floors, and we're going to be opening and closing all the doors to ensure that they operate properly. Generally, in your bedroom or your den, you will find your electrical panel. Inside the electrical panel, you'll find your breakers along with a legend that associates the breakers with different areas of your suite. Now, there are a couple breakers that are going to be slightly different than the regular ones, and these are what are called arc fault interrupt breakers. What these breakers do is, in the event that you plug something into one of your outlets and there was a short in that device, these breakers will detect that short before it could spark and possibly cause a fire. And they'll automatically trip the breaker to ensure that you're safe. Now, if your breakers ever do trip, you won't necessarily be able to turn it directly back on. In fact, you'll have to turn it all the way off to first in order to reset the breaker and then turn it back on. In your kitchen, we're going to be focusing on all the hard surfaces, including your countertops, kitchen cabinets, and backsplash. And we're going to be making sure that there's no damages to any of these areas. We're also going to be running the water in your sink and checking underneath the sink to make sure that there's no leaks. And we're also going to be checking your backsplash grout to make sure that there's no inconsistencies in the grout itself. We're going to open and close all of the cabinet doors to make sure that nothing rubs against each other. And again, we're going to be feeling along the front edge of your countertops to make sure that there's no chips or damages. Now, you'll also notice along your backsplash, you'll find some outlets, and these outlets will have test reset buttons. These are what are called ground fault circuit interrupt outlets. These are going to be located both in the kitchen and in the bathrooms, and these are designed to protect you against any kind of electrical shock. In the event that water were to splash on these outlets or any devices, these outlets will automatically turn off in order to protect you and make sure that you're safe. Now, if these outlets are not working for any reason, you may have to hit the reset button in order to make sure that they're working properly. Additionally, we're going to be checking all of your appliances to make sure that they're functioning properly and to ensure that there's no damage. Now, appliances in condos always come with a 1-year warranty, and the warranty is always through the manufacturer, not through the builder. Your warranty cards will be left with you in the suite, and you'll also get additional warranty cards upon occupancy. Thank you again for joining us on your pre-delivery inspection and new home orientation, and congratulations on the purchase of your new home from Solmar's Edge Towers.